Right, I am back, and I don't know what I'm going to draw, so we'll just draw something weird, shall we? Once again, I'm gonna start with some eyes, and we'll just see what happens. We'll go from there. I've been drawing a lot of like weird ghoul things lately, so I think I might just draw one of them, see what you think of them. I watched Longlegs the other day. That was really cool. I've been waiting to watch that for quite a while. I'm a big Nick Cage fan, mostly anyway. He's got some weird films, obviously, but he's got some really good ones. I think my favourite's probably Mandy, or maybe Longlegs now, 'cause that was really good. It wasn't what I expected, but in a good way. Potential spoilers for Longlegs, by the way. If you haven't seen it, I'm probably gonna spoil some bits, but I'll try not to be too spoilery. But when into the sort of second portion of the film, maybe just like the final act, I can't remember when it all started to happen, but when it went a bit like supernatural, that was what kind of made it for me. I love that shit. When it all went a bit like Satan-y and stuff. I thought that was dead cool. And like the imagery, and you know, like how, I don't know, I watched it again after I watched it the first time, and I noticed loads of like new things that I didn't see the first time, like silhouettes in the background and shit like that. I love stuff like that as well. Little hidden things. Yeah, so it's turned into like, it's kind of like a primitive ghoul kind of cannibal thing. I'm rewatching a lot of my old favourite horror films at the moment, so I think I've got cannibals on the mind, because I just rewatched Bone Tomahawk. If you haven't seen that, I definitely recommend it. It's one of the best horror films ever made, in my opinion. I just think it's absolutely horrific. It's got just kind of like I don't know if it's worth calling it a trigger warning or whatever, but it's got probably one of the worst deaths I've ever seen in a film. If you've seen the film, you know the one I'm talking about. If you haven't seen the film and you're going to watch it, you will soon know what I'm talking about. There's a couple of kills, or deaths even before that point, where you might go, oh, that's the one he was talking about, but nope, it isn't. When you get to the one that I'm talking about, you will know 100% that it's the one I'm talking about. So yeah, if you haven't seen Bone Tomahawk, I definitely recommend watching that. What else have I been watching? I watched, there was this one that Joe recommended to me called Devil's Candy, or maybe The Devil's Candy, I'm not sure. It's either one of those two anyway. But that was really good. I think I might give this guy just one horn at the back. Maybe he had two horns and then one of them got lost or cut off or something. Should I give him a little stump on the other side, or maybe just have it that he was born this way with one horn? Maybe the other ghouls have two horns, or maybe the other ghouls have no horns. Either way, he's got a horn now. Where would the other horn be? It'd probably be about here somewhere, wouldn't it? I suppose I haven't done too much damage with that shading on the head there. I could give him another full horn. What do you reckon? Full horn or broken horn? I think as I'm speaking, we're heading into full horn territory, so let's just ride with that. bit of shading in to kind of mask that shit. There's a cross hatching on the head that I'd done. Maybe just give him some streaks there for where his hair's gonna come from, if he has hair, which he apparently does now. Should we give him like just some medium length straggly hair, put some unkempt little wispy flicks in there and stuff. I don't think there'd be any visible from that side. What are we going to do with this person? Right, let's do the forearm. I haven't decided if he's going to have hands or hooves yet. I'm leaning towards hooves, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, so back to Devil's Candy, or the Devil's Candy. That was one of my recent favourites. Had a couple of like ongoing themes that I like. It had some like satanic imagery and that sort of shit, but then it was quite loosely themed around, not themed maybe, I don't know if that's a word, but featured a lot of metal music, which if you don't know me, I am into a lot. I'm at a point now where I have to decide if this guy's got hands or hooves. What do you reckon? I think we're gonna give him like a weird hand. I almost went hooves there, but just at the last minute changed my mind. How many fingers? I'll just do 3 since it's clearly not humanoid. Oh, well, humanoid he is, I suppose, but definitely not human. Not with them horns. Yeah, so Devil's Candy, it's got like it's got some themes of like metal, and it's about a painter that's kind of tormented by visions and stuff. So that was quite cool, having like a couple of my interests in one thing, like a few even, like satanic stuff, metal music, and a troubled painter. That was a good one. It's super dark though. It's got quite a lot of like kids. Well, I don't know how many. There's quite a lot of kids getting killed in it. So if you're the type of person that bothers, again, trigger warning, maybe don't watch it, because it was pretty bloody horrible. I might have to. Have to is the wrong word, but I think I'm gonna bring like a shoulder in there. Make this thing have an extra arm joint, if you know what I mean. Bit like the front arms or legs, whatever you want to call them, of the monster off Cloverfield, where they've got that extra hinge. I like doing stuff like that. It makes things look real weird. So yeah, I'd definitely recommend Devil's Candy as another sweet horror film to watch. I think not entirely sure, but it might be in my top 20 maybe. Not sure if it'd make my top 10. I think Longlegs did. I reckon that's possibly in my top 10. It's hard to solidify a top 10 though, as right across all genres really, because it's ever changing. It never stays the same for too long. I suppose there's a few constants. I reckon if I had to pick one film that is for sure in my top 10, I think where would this other guy's arm be coming out? Let's go here and have him. There we go, that's that hand coming out. Reaching for something. Oh, I've given an extra finger on this hand. That's alright. I'll just add a 4th one on there. And all is well in the world again. Yeah, it's a film that's definitely in my top horror films, if you can count it as horror, which I definitely would, is Jaws. Jaws is possibly my favourite film of all time. in fact, right across the board, not even just in horror. So I'll put the underside of this other arm there. Get it shaded a bit darker since it's kind of underneath there. Yeah, I reckon I'd consider Jaws a horror film. What do you think? It's definitely has its moments. It's got like, it's even got a couple of one defining jump scare in there, hasn't it? Which I don't know if that makes it a horror film or not, but it's got some people getting killed. If you could almost, I know it's probably just classed as a creature feature or something, isn't it? But you could almost class it as a slasher, really, with the shark being the beast. Should I give him some longer? I'm just going to tweak this eye a little bit, make it a bit rounder actually. I don't like how diamondy they are. There we go. That looks a bit more ominous. And then I need to figure out where he's going to go. I think I might just bring these spines curling in. Maybe bring it round there. Is he going to have legs, or is he going to have like a kind of snaky sort of wormish tail? I don't know. What do you reckon? Not that it's going to influence my decision, but there we go. I think I might give him some weird legs. Right, so let's bring that on there. And then that can be the top of a leg. And then we're going to have to get his stomach in there. Yeah, I think Jaws would be my number one horror film anyway. And then I don't know about number two. I think beyond number one, it gets a bit hazy as to the official order. I'd say American Werewolf in London is in there. Is it called American Werewolf in London or An American Werewolf in London? Either way, that's definitely in my top 10. That's one of my favourites. I saw that when I was quite young, and it's stuck with me right to this day. There's some weird scenes in it and stuff, like the werewolves, the werewolf dreams and stuff, but I think it kind of adds to how weird the film is as a whole. I don't know if I could say that that's my second or not, but I really like The Shining as well. That's a good one. And I don't know if it's controversial or not, but I reckon the remake of The Evil Dead is in there, above the actual original Evil Dead, controversially. If you can call it a remake. The remake, reboot, or I don't know if it's a sequel or what, but it looks like I'm going to have an opportunity here to get the hooves in after all. Give it some weird. There we go. That's where the hooves are going to be. Hands on the front, hooves at the back. What more can you want? I think I'd quite like hooves, but I don't know I don't know if I could be asked with the maintenance. You know, when you see people like scouring horses' hooves and that just so they can exist, is that necessary? Like, what happens to horses' hooves in the wild if they can't get filed down? Do they just grow and grow and grow until they're taller because of the hooves, or does something happen? I'll find out, and stay tuned. Stay tuned for an answer next week about horses' hooves growing. No, I won't remember to research that. What should we have something that he wants here, that he's reaching for? Maybe we just do something hideous and have like a fleshy amalgamation. Maybe it's a squished person that this this ghoulish monster has attacked. What does that look like? That could be a portion of torso that's been ripped open, peeled open, maybe feasted upon. I'll put some guts and viscera in there. Is that the right word? Viscera. Is that what there's a word like that I'm thinking of for this situation. It could very well be that word, but who knows. I'll put a bit of blood coming out, but not too much. Maybe he drank most of the blood before it hit the floor. Let's put some recognisable features in there. Let's have a very, very mangled hand. Just to show that it is in fact a deceased human that has been feasted upon. Yeah, I like The Shining as well. I'm not sure if that's in my top 10, but it's definitely in my top something. It's a good film. And The Thing, that's in there. I'd be hard pressed to unanimously decide once and for all whether it's Jaws or The Thing. That's my favourite horror film, because they're both really good. Is this another arm or is it another leg? Can't really see. Doesn't matter. It's a something. It's sticking out. I'll put some of this extra stuff here. Don't want it to look too neat and stuff on this back bit. I want it to look like whatever's happened, it's been a bad time for at least one of the people involved. Maybe I'll put like the essence of a head. Just this suggestion. Maybe I know what I'll do. Maybe I'll block that eye socket out there. So there's an eye. There's just a suggestion. Maybe if I add some hair to it, it'll look a bit more headish. And maybe what's happened is during the chaos, this poor fellow's eye is dropped out, and that's what the ghoul's looking for. Let's give him some directional pupils so it looks like he's looking down there. There we go. Now he has a purpose. Reaching for this unfortunate gentleman's eye. I'll put some shadow under this. Just give the implication of the floor. We don't want a floating ghoul, do we? That'd be a bloody nightmare. At least this one you'd hear the clop of hooves before he comes to get you. You'd have a small amount of time warning you of his approach. Bit more on the ground and then we're probably done with this one. Don't want to keep the videos, don't want to let the videos, go too far. Otherwise no one will bloody watch them. Just gonna have a bone protrude in there actually before I do it. That'll probably do, won't it? Let's just get my my logo that I'm trying to bring back from the crypt. It's like a V and then a sideways E on top. And then, as always, I'm gonna make it look all witchy and stuff with some sketchy bits. There we go. Cheers for watching. There is a ghoul eating someone. Stay tuned for more pointless drawings. See you later.